Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Alpha Traders. Here we are, Sunday, futures opening. What's going on with Bitcoin? Well, I can tell you one thing right off the bat. The algos front ran the shit out of the institutional boys through a $2,000 gap on them. Now they're scrambling. What are they doing? Well, to be honest, a lot of these guys might have to buy the underlying. I was talking to somebody earlier. Before these guys want to throw another leg onto their options positions, they might want to buy or sell the underlying first if they think it's a short-term move, right? Just to protect their position. But I'll tell you what, if these guys are going to have to buy the underlying, we could see the futures pump. By the end of the day, maybe this gets up to the 95.4 Laplace distribution range, about $1,000 above where Bitcoin is right now. Now, we missed two streams during the week here at Alpha Trading. So we had a Saturday stream yesterday, and we're doing a stream today at the futures opening. Yesterday, I talked about the weekend, the tight price action, the daily price action volatility range. It was about 20 bucks here. It was literally about $60 today. This is like a coiled snake, right? When you see something like this is like a coiled snake. Going into today, we had another really tight range, right? This is another thing. Why I have my chart set up the way I do, and why instead of having 3 4-hour standard deviation ranges, I have all the way up to the 5th standard deviation range. Why? Do you understand that what this entire chart here is telling you between price action and the distribution? This was a coiled snake ready to explode. Why do I say that? First off, all weekend, price action going sideways with these tight price action daily volatility ranges. Then you have the entirety of a 99.9, like 5% 4-hour normal distribution range packed inside the daily first standard deviation. Here's the downside. Here's the top side. The entire 4-hour was packed down inside of it until this last 4-hour candle. We had this massive explosion. It knocked the 4th and 5th standard deviation on this last 4-hour candle outside the 1SD range. This was a no-brainer. I didn't think it was going to happen until the futures opened, right? Which they did about 45 minutes ago. They front ran them by about an hour. Ran a massive 15-minute, it was actually 2 5-minute candles. And to be honest, it was literally 1 5-minute candle. Well, why do I say that? Well, let's go to the 5-minute chart. Boom. 1 5-minute candle was literally only like $300. The rest of that entire move happened in 5 minutes. That was some massive buying coming in. I was just saying, on the 5-minute chart right now, Bitcoin's setting up a bunch of bear div on the 5-minute between price action and returns. Variance after that, it's just humdinging right down by the 0 threshold. This whole time, though, volatility from that move on the 5 minutes been contracting the whole time, predominantly negatively correlated, right? Heading from the top up here positive, working its way down, negatively correlated. So now the contraction, it was starting to head back up positive. So the price slipping a little bit. Entropy percentile, flat, positively correlated, price coming down. You've got Z-score of historical volatility coming down. It was negatively correlated predominantly. Now it's heading back up positive. So it wouldn't shock me at all to see this thing pull back a little bit. At the same time, it could run. It could run up to the 95.4 and those low time frames could change. So what am I doing at this point? Number one, if I was actively trading, I was all over this trade, 100%. Great profit right there. Incredible profit. So now if I'm waiting, to be honest, I'm waiting for the daily close. Why? I want to see where the new daily price action volatility range is going to be. When you learn how to use this indicator, if the daily was closing right now, you need to understand the new daily is going to be up here, right? All the volatility was to the top side. So it is going to pull that new daily range up, and it's going to pull it hard, probably $1,700. It's going to be way up here, depending on where we close. If this last hour and 15 minutes of price action wants to come back down here, maybe start making a run down towards the top side of the 68.3 here. If it doesn't come down and fill the gap, who knows? I don't really believe in all those gaps. The only two true gaps to me are price action volatility ranges that don't get tested. Those are real gaps. But we'll have to see what happens. We will have to see what happens. More importantly, this is what's going on. I got a new projection started. I've got our PB2 back here at the 41K low. The last time Bitcoin closed 2 weekly candles above its first standard deviation normal distribution was the 41K low. People are like, whoa, what about here? This first week did not even come close to closing above its 1 SD. Second week did. This was the last sustained move. But just like what's going on now, Bitcoin immediately went up. It's testing the 95.4 Laplace distribution range. Here's what's great. This white line is the mean of this projection. I've been talking for literally 10 weeks that until Bitcoin closes a weekly candle above this mean, this thing is not going anywhere above like 44K. We were down there, right? We were down below it. These algos going into the end of the close this week ran this sucker up to the 95.4. These bulls want to close above the mean of this projection. If it happens, this next week's going to open up here. Then you got to look up. Where's the 95.4 now? It's up almost 50K. The week after that, it's at about 52K. If Bitcoin can close a weekly above the 95.4, it's probably going to make a run to the 99.7 all-time highs. But first and foremost, now that it is going to close a candle, well, I'm being pretty bold, right? We know Bitcoin can move like a mother. So, but I'm gonna get on Bitcoin's bull run wagon here and say this weekly is going to close above the mean of the projection, above the first standard deviation. Look next week. Look where the top side of the 68.3 from the 41K low is. It's about 58.6. Okay. If Bitcoin closes up here, in my opinion, you will see these weekly candles break this narrow projection above the 95.4 Laplace. It will go up and test this 68.3 top side from this projection. Yet to be seen whether we get a rejection there, and then it pulls back inside this 95.4 on this one. This is why the distribution is so powerful and trying to figure out, what am I trying to figure out? The only reason I'm up here on macro time frames is because I want to know when I'm down here on the 5 and 15, where do I want to use all my capital? On longs or on shorts? That's all I'm doing. Right? I'm not trying to give some macro analysis. Oh, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out where my capital is going to be best utilized. Why? Because this is all about P&L. And if these macro time frames are telling me that I should be using all my capital on longs and a third or a quarter of my account when I am counter trading that bias, and I'm taking my profit on the longs, and I'm limiting my losses on the losing positions, what's that going to do for your P&L? It's going to skyrocket me. It's going to skyrocket. That's what we try to teach here at Alpha Trading. So this is looking up. I like what I'm seeing on these charts. If I was actively trading right now, I got my hand in the cookie jar, man. I'm not using any leverage, but I'm damn sure I'm hot to try, right? Bilbo's out beating the drum, man. He's getting the Shire all worked up. We're sitting at the Green Dragon drinking ale, checking out hairy chicks. Holy shit, I need a gin and tonic. Let's see here. Let's go over to here. hour. Massive freaking statistical outlier on this 4 hour candle. Guys, we haven't had a 4 hour candle like this since back here, right? And that was coming off when we were down there around 37K. Then had this major 4 hour candle. Now, it's not quite that big, but that was the last time we had this much price action. So let's see here. What I really wanted to show my own the index I am. Here's the weekly. This weekly chart, if you know how to read volatility, entropy, returns, this chart is bullish, man. Why, Bilbo? Well, number one, first, let's go to the bold divergence between price action and returns, right? All higher lows. From this point, all lower lows. Finally, we got a little bit of the pop there, right? Of that bull dip. Boom, boom. Look, low, lower low, right around the zero mean. Boom, big old pop. What happened? And I'm talking about from this low. You get another lower low. That bull div just building. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam! Now we're getting another pop. This divergence on this macro time frame has been building and building and building. At some point, in my opinion, Bitcoin's going to break out to a new all-time high on this macro time frame. Log return Z-score bouncing from the bottom of these confidence intervals, and the weekly is having an outlier positively correlated. What does that mean? It means you're going to have a second standard deviation move or above, which brings us back to this chart. Are we? Yes. We're at it right now. Fat tail event on this projection is happening right now. Whether or not it exceeds it. So I'm gonna stick to my guns here and say this is important to see if this outlier is going to continue. BTC needs to continue busting to the top side, right? It needs to break this 95.4 and continue, right? That is a fat tail event. So let's see what happens. Could be very powerful though. This could be the beginning of something very powerful. Is the volatility saying yes? It's expanding on the weekly from lows, right? Down around the 10 percentile range, heading back up into positive correlation. Historical volatility Z-score heading to the top side, significantly positively correlated. Entropy correlated to the top side. Okay, starting to turn down. Let's see when we get this weekly candle close here in about an hour. Let's see if this thing drops immediately down, starts heading into trend, because we are the entropy percentile is expanding, heading back into positive correlation. The Fisher is both are heading up. What is Fisher transform? I'm sure a lot of people out there in traditional TA land, if they like to use Fisher, guaranteed they don't even know what the hell it is. Takes price action, turns it into a Gaussian distribution. That is why we use it here at Alpha Trading. It fits into our narrative, into our ethos. You understand? Look at the weekly DLP, right? Slowly heading back up to the top side, coming off of what? Hidden bull div. Higher lows on price action, lower lows on DLP. Now it's about ready this week. Boom, it's probably going to pop to the top side. So this could be a nice sustained move to send Bitcoin at least up to around the 60K level. And if that does happen, and you see BTC break this 95.4 here, you guys, you need to, this is what we're all about at Alpha Trading. We're all about the current candle, right? We're all about these current candle levels. We're about to get a new one in new current candle weeklies. But the projections are powerful, letting you know, look at this. Why people are drawing their goofy ass little weekly trend lines, they're not understanding what's creating them. Especially if they're using wicks. It's the distribution. Look at it banging its head up on the 95.4. I mean, is it just me, or do you not see these wicks going right to it? You think that's just some magical space right there? No. There is a 95.4% chance that price action does not go past there, right? That's like a freaking 95.4% little cage that is just encapsulating price action right there. And so what happens? Then it goes sideways, drops right back down into the 68.3% range. During this projection, there was a 68.3% chance BTC's data set dropped back down in here. It damn sure did. Even dropped below it. Now it's back up in it, breaking to the top side of the projection, hammering up against this projection 95.4. All right. This is how proper volatility traders create a workflow and understand where to use their capital. That's about going to wrap it up for us. Tomorrow, Monday stream, we're going to go into traditional markets. The NASDAQ mini futures over on CMEs, they are kind of flat right now, down 16 points, no big deal. Be watching Bitcoin tonight. Be watching the NASDAQ E-minis tonight to see what they're doing. It's going to give you a good idea on what's going to be happening on SPY pre-market. All right. So if you're on YouTube watching this for the first time, we are Alpha Trading. We trade volatility, probability, and statistics. We love to teach people to do the same. The link to our Discord is in the description of all of our videos. Join the Discord. Go into the shop channel. We have 2 different levels of our Discord that can get you signed up to Alpha Trading. We don't sell indicators. We sell access to the Discord where we let you use this Alpha Trading system. Open up a support ticket, tell us what's on your mind, and wherever you're living in this big, beautiful blue marble, have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. We will see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys.